Hey, SAAB is coming up with a next-gen fighter.
Good.
It's not a drone, though. Sort of.
Yay.
Kind of not a drone.
Can be a drone.
So this is also a little bit older, 527, but they sketched the first. They sketched the first details of their next-gen fighter, and I love that they're talking about. Let's take a deep breath and see where we're going to go.
They're honest.
Quoted in Flight Cobble. Yeah, I love the practicality of them, but. So basically what they're emphasizing is low observability, autonomy, which is that word we were talking about earlier with the precursor to Terminator, and electronic warfare capabilities. Here it is. This is an illustration that SAAB provided of a concept. And dude, they need to put a fake canopy because it looks it just freaks me out not having
it on there.
Yeah, I like
it. Yep.
Mover, single seat or 2-seat fake canopy?
Single seat.
Yeah,
it just needs something so it doesn't look like a blind bat, like if you see a monster and it has no eyes, it scares you, and this scares me. So here it is.
Not natural.
Don't be afraid.
It's not natural. But anyway, so they have studies on manned and unmanned solutions in the system, and they're looking at 2026 to 2031 when a procurement decision will be made. So they got some time, but it just to show you, I mean, SAAB has had the market on kind of the in-between, the Gen 4.5 with the Gripen, and they're like, hey, we're not worried about stealth. We are going to develop a 9G fighter that's got an awesome electronic warfare suite. It's got awesome sensors. It's got awesome situational awareness. It can integrate with everybody, and it's cost effective so that smaller countries are able to buy it. And I think this is their like, okay, what's the next step to stay within this market and develop something that, it's not going to be the 6th gen that they're, that we're working on now, but kind of that, okay, what's next in between, like Gen 5.5, if you will. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think there's a market for that. I mean, I guess I really didn't think about their effort as more of a, not a full leap forward in as far as a generation is concerned, but I think there is a market for that, man. Cause I mean, Skid, you can back me up, but it's like the cost of like next gen fighter, bomber, you name it. If it has next gen on it, the cost is there's going to be a B in front of it as in billions of dollars, right? So, I think SAAB is. I think it's a smart play for them, and I think there'll be a customer for that in the future. And I actually think that's kind of where our own military may have to go. Like,
what's it going to replace, Gonky? What do you think?
Well, I think about it as kind of like, I mean, it is obviously way more capable. It's like, back in the 70s and stuff, kind of like the F5 kind of filled that void, right? It was an effective fighter. It wasn't quite as expensive and advanced as the then 4th gen new fighters. Mover and I talk all the time about like these super expensive, do everything next gen kind of things. Why can't we have a cheaper, almost as effective option? And that's kind of what I see they are working on here.
Really, a discounted 6th gen type vehicle?
I don't think it's discounted, Skid, so much as SAAB doesn't suffer from the bureaucracies and the inefficiencies that we do. Right. They don't have the $1 billion contracts because it's SAAB and the government. It's SAAB and their government, and there's no in between. And there aren't as many special interests, and there aren't as many pockets to line and go through and all that stuff. So what they're able to do is go, put our best engineers on this. Let's make a good product, and let's go. Now, previously, I think they had a little bit of trouble with the Gripen and selling it because they were, we want to remain neutral, right? They weren't previously NATO, so they didn't want to sell it to, like, they were careful with who they could export it to. And that caused like less demand and less availability. I think now that they're a NATO country, I think you're going to start to see their aircraft in more NATO countries and wider exports if they can continue the manufacturing pace.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think there's, I mean, I think there's a place. I think there's a place for the Gripen now. Weaver and I have talked about it. It's
Well, dude, look at the T7.
right. I mean,
I mean, seriously,
right.
SAAB gave them basically, here's the T7. It's a perfect example of the differences between the two, our countries, because SAAB's like, hey, we're going to do kind of like what we did with the T6, because the T6 Pilatus, it was already kind of, here's the aircraft. We just need an American manufacturer to make it American so that, we
can buy it.
We can fly.
Yeah. Right.
They did this with the T7. Boeing gets a hold of it, and now we're never going to see the damn thing.
Wow.
Like it's
Interesting.
okay. Just checking the window here.
No drones coming through the window.
I love my life. Actually,
Happy.
anyway,
I'm so happy.
but I'm saying it's they without that airplane is it's ready. It's ready to go. They don't suffer from that. And the Gripen is a great example because that's an awesome performer.
Yes.
And so if as long as they maintain this track and, by becoming part of NATO, it doesn't, corrupt that. And I use the term corrupt as in not corruption, but as in lose their purity and how they manufacture and engineer and stuff, because they don't have different hands in the pot. I think that, it's a good thing for them and for everybody else.
Sure. I agree.